Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. It's an open the box and it's a reprint from something hot off the press from the latest P500. It is Panzer, the game of small unit actions and combined arms operations on the Eastern Front, 1943 to 44. Game designed by James M. Day and published by GMT Games. And as I said earlier, this is the brand new third printing. So, what's all this about? The tanks prepare for action. The commanders confer one final time. They await your orders. So, tank-to-tank combat on a tactical level. Panzer is a modular game system for 2 or more players, designed for combined arms, small unit actions set in World War II. It is comprehensive, yet still remains quick to play. Panzer has one of the most detailed weapon and armour modelling systems as presented in its full colour data cards and charts. The streamlined counter-based command system steps play along at a brisk pace, moving players quickly into the action. Included in the game are the German Panzer III and IV, the Panther, both Tigers, Stugs and the Soviet T-34/76 and the T-34/85, Stalin tanks, various SUs and a number of other units including infantry and aircraft. It's all here, it says, and it certainly looks like it. Panzer has everything you need to recreate World War II tactical ground combat at its finest. 10 historical and introductory scenarios showcase the game's various systems and cover the range of actions on the Eastern Front between German and Soviet forces. And if you saw my unboxing of the sort of sister game to this, if you like, MBT, it looks very similar, but of course set in World War II. So here are some of the data cards, some of the game counters and markers. So in the box we have 2 summary cards, 16 full-colour tank data cards, 3 full-colour counter sheets, 1 22 by 34 inch map with 1 inch hexes, that's different to MBT, a rulebook, playbook, 5 player aid cards and 4 10-sided dice. The units are individual tanks, vehicles, towed guns and aircraft, infantry squads, half squads and sections. Players 2 or more. Time, each game turn is 15 seconds to 15 minutes. The map 100 meters per hex and ages 14 plus. Designer and developer James M. Day. Art director Roger B. McGowan. Production coordinator Tony Curtis with the usual crew of executive producers. Cover art and design James M. Day, Pascal da Silva and Mark Simonich. Map art and design Charles Kibler. Rulebook and playbook Charles Kibler and Mark Simonich, and the package art and design Roger B. McGowan. On the game meter, the complexity is 6 out of 9. That's a sort of medium high. And the same for the solitaire suitability medium high at 6 out of 9. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. Right, the shrink wrap's off. It's the usual 2-inch box, sturdy. Nice colourful graphic on the box lid. So, let's open the box. Chock-a-block to the top of the box, and the first thing we see are the basic and advanced rules. So let's have a look at those. So here are the basic and advanced rules together. 68 pages. And this is different to MBT, which had separate basic and advanced rules booklets. So let's have a look. Here we've got contents, introduction to the advanced game. So the basic game goes up to page 21, and then the rest is for advanced game play. for the rest of the book. So we've got introduction. I won't go through everything because this would be quite similar to the MBT rulebook, but it's full colour, as you can see, matte paper, which I prefer, and does look very similar to MBT in its sort of basic, movement, line of sight, that sort of thing. And then introduction to the advanced game. So once again, 21 pages and you're off. And the thing about these advanced rules, just like MBT, you can plop them in as and when you want. The advanced game sequence of play. I think these are different, improved positions. So I think if you want to plop in the advanced game command phase, you can learn that, put it into the rules you already know, play that a few times, then add something else, and off you go. So, as you can see, lots to be getting on with. Not a great deal of pictures, but doesn't look too bad at all. Strafing. Credits. And a glossary. Very helpful. And an index. Quite a comprehensive looking index, which is always good to see. And the terrain key on the back. Them's the basic and advanced rules. And then there's a separate booklet for the optional rules. And this comes in at 24 pages. Table of contents. So, optional rules, morale, hidden units, Soviet early war communications, and turrets. So you could pick from here, I suppose, and just plop down turrets if you want to use those. And make it as crunchy as you like. But there we go, lots in here as well. Camouflage. So again, I won't go through it in detail. Airborne operations. Oh, that's available in Panzer Expansion 3. Leaders. There we are. Optional rules. And then there's the playbook. 40 pages. This will have the scenarios and the tables of organisation and equipment, which is very useful and interesting to read. And then there's the scenarios, designing your own scenarios with points. And into the scenarios. So an explanation of what all this means. So 10 scenarios, the crossing. So this one's suitable for when you've just reviewed the basic rules. Then you can always add some advanced rules to this one and play it again and get used to the new rules. Another one for just the basic rules, only has vehicles in it. So this one is like a variation of scenario 1. It's got some infantry in it, so you will need some advanced rules, and off you go. Just the one map, which is again very different from MBT, which had, I think, 5 double-sided geomorphic maps. The expansions to this Panzer series has those sort of maps in it. So it's unusual, it's just got the one map. So you play all the scenarios on that one map. And again, I think, is it in chronological order? Not sure. Late 43, early 44. No. There we go. German unit summary chart. How many points they're worth. This is, I presume, to make your own scenarios. That continues on the other pages. And down here. Colour coding here tells you what expansions you'll need to include those units. And then we've got the Soviet one. Look at that. And just like in MBT, we've got some photocopy pages when it's a large scenario for you to write down all the formations and who's in command and their grade and all that sort of thing. That's the playbook. Next out the box is the map. So let's open her up and have a look. So a single-sided map. It's a bit lumpy because I've just got it out the box. But again, there are people who love and loathe these maps. But there we go. Personally, I think they're very functional. And here's the bottom bit of the map. I suppose we'll have a close-up. Here we have a sort of larger village or town straddling across 2 roads. Got some light woods here and scrub. And over on the other side of the map, we've got another village here. And this time, paths going through it. And a stream along here with a bridge. And you can just see here, I think, a ford. And all the scenarios will be played on this one map. There you go, that's the map. Next out are the counter sheets, 3 of them. Here's the first one, and as usual now, they're on that sort of thicker brown core. 7/8, 2.2 centimetres. Very easy to understand. You've got a picture top down of the unit. You've got its type. I think this is the data card reference. And then 3 numbers here. The first one is its movement along terrain. So 5 movement points. And the T says it's tracked. Middle number is when it's going along a path. And the one at the end there is its road movement. So very easy to understand. So we've got the Soviets and the Germans there. And some anti-tank stuff down here, some PaK-40s. And 76.2mm M29s. And on the other side, not the units reduced values, but more units. Here's counter sheet 2. Here we've got infantry, German and Soviet, of course. And then we've got the command counters that you place on your units. And if you're playing two-player, these will be placed face down, as you'll see on the other side in a moment. But if you're playing solitaire, I suppose you just leave them as is. And some fire and move counters. And on the other side, as I said earlier, here's the side you show when you're playing with two players. So the other player doesn't know what command you've put down on your units. And the last counter sheet. Some more admin markers. Here's those turrets we saw in the optional rules. Smoke and mines, hesitation, damage markers, bailing out, brew up. Not good. And here's the other side. Next are the player aids, and this first one explains how the vehicle data cards work. And on the other side, some more helpful information for leg and crew served weapon data cards. Here's one for aircraft and artillery, and one for towed units. And on the other side of those two we have the Panzer turn track, the transport and summary track, and the hidden unit track. Next we've got two copies of Game Card A with all the charts and tables on it, armour piercing hit and modifiers, the hit locations, number of hits, its penetration, spotting and spotting ranges, and the terrain effects chart. And on the other side, general purpose combat results, hand-to-hand modifiers, close assault modifiers, general purpose fire modifiers, called indirect fire response, called indirect fire response modifiers, unit grade modifiers, minefield effects, bailout, suppression recovery, and building effects. And just to finish off the player aids, we've got Game Card C, which has a sequence of play, which is very handy, with the rules references next to them. Those in black are for the basic game, those in red are for the advanced game, and the blue ones are optional rules. So the available commands: numeric cohesion point, cohesion modifiers, breakpoint modifiers and recovery modifiers, the breakpoints, anti-aircraft, aircraft modifiers, and spotting and line of sight. And on the other side, Game Card D are the combat effects summaries. 4 D10s, so you and your opponent can have a set of percentile dice each. And lastly, the data cards. So, have a quick look through them. Is it Germans on one side? Yep, Soviets on the other. So everything you need is on here. For the basic game, I think I mentioned this for MBT, all you'll be using, I think, is this bit of the card and the armour down here. Of course, when you go to the advanced rules, you have to find out what part of the tank you're hitting and so on. There's the Panther, Tiger, Tiger 2, Marder, Stug. Flak gun there. Pack 40. Focke-Wulf 190. Does look good. Squads, half squads and sections. Mortars, heavy machine guns and anti-tank weapons. And quickly, for the Soviets, T-70, T-34s, so whizzing through these. Hopefully you can pause if you wish to take a longer look. Anti-tank gun there, and another. It's a bigger one. There we are. That's the data cards. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of the brand new third printing of Panzer, the game of small unit actions and combined arms operations on the Eastern Front, 1943 to 44, designed by James M. Day and published by GMT Games. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and you found it interesting. If you did and you haven't done so already, why not be a good egg and consider subscribing to the channel. We're getting near 3,000 subscribers. It's amazing. Push the like button of this video. That helps as well. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then push the bell. Leave a comment. Many similarities between this and MBT, of course. And yes, the maps. I know. But what do you think? Let me know. I love to read them. Thanks as always to my subscribers. Thank you so much. And just before I go, one last thing. If you want to support the channel a little bit further, well, now you can buy the channel a coffee. And those coffees all go towards helping to maintain the channel and enabling it to continue to upload new content. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description. And thank you. Well, just to let you know, there'll be a bit more Panzer unboxings because the expansions are here as well. So I hope you can join us for those. But until then, as always, you take care and goodbye.